Assalamu alaikum everyone. My name is Muhammad Bilbar, roll number 2022 CS131, and this is a demo of project of OS that was assigned to us by Sir Numan Shafi for OS Lab course session spring 2024. The aim of the project is to develop a virtual operating system that can perform basic Unix tasks by applying the concept that we have learned throughout the course. So now I will give a brief description of the implementation of my code. So file system is the main handler of the project. It basically manages all the. It is basically the file explorer that manages all the files, folders, and execution of tasks that are given by the user. Get input takes the input from the user, and check instructions is a check which instruction is to be performed. At first, I initialize the total memory size and the total memory of the operating system and the disk space of the operating system, and two mutex logs that will be acting as for creating synchronization between the disk management and memory management that occurs on runtime during the application execution. These vectors are basically catering the process of task manager that is happening in our operating system. It keeps track of which task is taking how much memory. Moving on to the main task, the main function. At first, the start animation of the operating system will run, and then two threads will be created, which is basically the thread of disk management and the thread of memory management, which is the RAM. And the third is the first process that is happening that occurs in the operating system, and that is the clock task. It takes the memory from the available memory and creates the thread so that it can run on simultaneously with the input feature of the operating system. So here's what's happening in the main loop of the operating system. The user gives input in the form of command, and the instruction that is given is separated into different commands like first part, second part, and third part. And then the instruction is checked whether the given instruction is valid or not. If it is invalid, it throws the invalid command error, and if else, it defines the case for which command should be. If we look into the execute command function, it basically takes the command and the which function is to be which file is to be which task is to be executed. If there is not enough memory for the task to be created, it throws an error. Or if there is not enough space, for example, if we are creating a file and there is not enough space, it throws an error. So at first I created a pipeline for intercommunication between the parent and the child tasks. And here the child task is to be executed. For example, if we are creating a file, that file task is created as a child process. The child task takes its memory required and disk required. If it is a file, for example, if we are creating a file, it requires this, or but if we are only renaming the file, it does not require these parameters are defined in the child's task function file, and it writes its memory and size onto the pipeline that we have earlier discussed created, and then it executes the tasks parallelly. And for the parent function, it reads the task, read the memory space and disk space required from the buffer, and updates the available memory and the available disk space of the operating system, and then it waits for the child process to execute task. For example, if we are creating a file, it will wait for the file to be created, and when the file is created, it will release the memory required by the tasks, and if the disk required any space, if the file was successfully created, then it will allocate deduct the space from the available disk space. So similarly for the other tasks, for example, if for the cd command was run, then a create task was run, and for each task, a separate file is declared, which contains the code for the child task that is to be performed. It will perform its required task, and when it returns back to the parent process, which releases its required taken resources, and then at the end, if the application ends, it will close the application. It will join all the multi-threads that were created at the start, and then it will close the application. Now I will show you a little demo of the working of the application. So this is the main screen of the operating system. The current time is displayed at the top, that is running at the synchronously with runtime, and the available memory and the disk available, which is the 2 GB we declared at the starting. If we check the task that are currently running, the system is taking 28 MB of the RAM, and the clock that is running is 20. So 48 is being reduced from the available memory. So if we create a file, for example, all the tasks that can be performed by the operating system are displayed by the help command. These are all the tasks that can be performed. So if we create a folder, we can create a folder, and if we create dir, clear screen. If we create dir, we can see our directory is created in the main root folder. So if we want to move into the folder, we can use fd, and now we are in the f1. We can check which directory we are available by using the pwd command. It shows that which is the current directory that we are present in. So Now I will create a file, demo file, and we write some character hello world into it. See, the previous space was 2 GB. When we created a file, that space is being deducted from the total available space, and if we want to check it that if the file is being created or not, the V1 and F1 folder, the root and F1 folder created a demo file task which is of txt type. If we want to convert its data type to another format, we can simply write demo file name and then the required format, and press enter. Now if we see, we can see the data type of the file has been changed. Now we move back to the back folder, which is the root, and we create another folder with name F2. If we want to copy the file that has been created in the F1 folder into the F2, we can use the copy command, copy, and the file path vf1 and then demo file, and we need to copy it to the path vf2. Okay, we press enter, and now if we check the dir, we can see in here we have F1 and F2. So if we move to the F2 folder and we check we can see the demo file that was in F1 is now also in F2. And if we want to delete it from here, we can simply call the delete command and delete demo file, and it will be deleted. And we can watch the whole data. We can hold the files. So we can watch all the files that are in or all of our space by using that tray command. If we use that tray command, we can see in root folder there is folder F1 that contains the CPP file, and F2 that we have already deleted. So if we want to move the CPP file from folder 1 to folder 2, we can use the move command, and again we will provide the path v /f1 /demo file, and then we will provide the destination path which will be vf2, and then we enter. And now if we print the tree, we can see the root folder, the file from F1 folder is now transferred, moved to the F2 folder. Similarly, if we want to delete a folder, for example, if we want to move back and we want to delete F1 folder, we can use the command remove directory and F1, and if we watch the directory, the F1 folder is deleted. We can also watch it from the tree. See, F1 folder is now deleted. And now if we want to exit the application, we can simply use the exit command, and we will exit. All the threads will be joined, and we will exit by the task.